PHP runs on the web server. Scripts are executed on the web server. So for example, we have this PHP script here. Let's make it simple. Make it simple. Just have it PHP here, echo hello world. Ayan. Okay. So yan, PHP script runs on the web server. So what happens if you try to run your PHP script in a web browser? You try to access directly your PHP script in a web server. Para makita natin, just drag it here. So, ganyan ang mangyayari. Okay? Since si browser hindi niya kilala yung PHP na file extension, it cannot display it properly. It will interpret it as a plain text. So lahat ng codes natin with PHP are displayed here. Okay? Now paano natin i-run si PHP that it can execute from the web server and be shown in your browser without the PHP codes or with the PHP codes already executed on the server. Okay, so first you need to start Apache and MySQL from the SAMP control panel. And then to create your own folder, to create your own website that can be served by our web server by SAMP, you need to, the default installation of SAMP, unless you modified it, is in C, SAMP. And then there's a folder there called htdocs. So open that folder and then create your own folder. Okay, it's either you create your own folder, pwede rin dito sa labas lang ilagay yung mga files, pero better to create your own folder para hindi messy. And then you can reuse for different websites. So in our case, I pre-created earlier a folder called PHP class. Itong folder na VS Code na to, ginawa lang ni Visual Studio. So it's not necessary. And then I created index.php. Okay. So here I opened the PHP class na folder and then I created index.php. Now I write PHP echo hello world. So paano natin siya i-run as PHP website and not as plain text or plain HTML. So you do not access your PHP files as how you access your HTML files. You need to have the address of the web server. By default, it's localhost / the name of your folder. So ang pangalan ng folder na ginawa ko is PHP class. So ma-access ko ngayon yung file na yun using PHP class and then the file name. Okay? In this case, what if thank you. Okay, in this case, index.php can be omitted. The reason is because I named it index. Okay? Index.php for PHP websites is very important inside a folder. The reason being is to prevent directory listing. Okay? Attackers can just do this if you don't have index.php. or index.html inside, they can see all the files inside your directory. Okay? In that case, pwede nilang gamitin yung mga files na yon, or pwede nilang i-access yung mga files na yon para in order to exploit your website. Okay? Attackers can easily exploit your website if they know the directory structure of your website. So yan, yung importance ng index.php. So don't forget, it's very important. It's index.php for PHP, index.js for Node. For ASP, if I'm not mistaken, if it's still the same, it's default.aspx. So yan. Whenever you access just the folder, it will serve the index in there. Okay? If you want to access other pages, for example, we have page 2. Okay? You will access it using page 2.php. So that's the difference of running your HTML files and your PHP files. Okay? They need to be run through a web server. Any question? Okay, so far, parang wala naman. Going back to the syntax. So the basic PHP syntax, the script can be placed anywhere in the document. PHP script starts with this. Kita naman ng lahat, no? So open angle bracket, question mark, PHP, and ends with this. Okay, and then the PHP code goes inside or between the two tags. In my case, where is it? Okay. In my case, wala akong closing tag. This is allowed if and only if you don't have another uh, text or other contents after the PHP script. Like for example here, if you have H1, it will create an error. Okay? Ayan, meron na siyang unexpected angle bracket. So in order to put H1 after your PHP script, you need to close script. Okay? So that's your PHP script. As discussed, PHP script can be put anywhere in the document. Okay? Or meron na tayong HTML, meron na tayong head. Ayan, pwede nating ilagay si PHP anywhere inside the document. Okay, the hello world is in our title. Okay, note that PHP statements ends with a semicolon. Okay? So, lahat ng statements natin merong semicolon except if it's just a single line statement. Okay, that will still work because it's a single line statement. But if you have multiple lines, for example, if So, ayan, si ano pa lang na-detect na niya. Unexpected if. So, you have to terminate each line with a semicolon. Just like your other programming languages, Java, JavaScript, and C Sharp. Okay? So, unless uh, you have coded with other languages that don't require semicolon, like I think Python, Visual Basic, you don't require semicolon, so this will not be new to you. PHP is case sensitive, just like your other languages. Okay, and then we go to comments. Comments in PHP. This is an example of a single line comment, or you can use the Perl syntax. The hashtag can also be used to create a single line comment, and multiple line comments. You can use this. Okay. And then declaring variables. So variables in PHP are declared using the $sign. Take note $sign. Every variable in PHP must be started with a $sign. Okay? In JavaScript, we declare variables using the var keyword. In PHP, we don't use any keyword as long as we use the $sign as the prefix or the start of the variable name. So $sign followed by alphanumeric characters or underscore. So as you can notice in here, text is equal to hello world, text x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10.5. So PHP is also a loosely typed language, or it's a dynamic language just like JavaScript. You don't have to set, or you don't have to specify the data type unless you are using PHP 7 strict type. Okay? So ayan, weakly type language. Developers can turn strict types on by placing the declare strict types is equal to 1. In that case, you can declare uh, your types. You can do type hinting, but that's only for PHP 7. It will not work in 5.6 or lower. Okay, so and variable starts with $sign followed by the name of the variable. Must start with a letter or underscore and cannot start with a number. Can only contain alphanumeric characters and they are case sensitive. So in order to output variables, you just use uh, echo. Then the name of the variable. Okay. And then the variable scope. So of course we have local and global. Local pag dineclare siya inside sa function. Global pag dineclare siya outside of the function. And then static is basically it's a static and can be modified from outside and have like it has a global scope also. So yan. In order to declare a static variable, you have to use the keyword static. The local and global variables don't have to, you don't need any keyword. Just declare the variable name and then the value. Huwag nyo lang kakalimutan always yung $sign. Okay? Now, how to output using PHP? You have the echo and print statements. So there are two basic ways to get output. We have echo and print. So echo and print are more or less the same. They are both used to output data to the screen. The differences are small. Echo has no return value, while print has a return value of 1. So it can be used in expressions. Echo can take multiple parameters, although such usage is rare, while print can take one argument. So here's how to use echo. Here are the examples. So echo here. Take note that you can also echo HTML tags. You can echo JavaScript statements. You can echo CSS classes. You can echo CSS definitions or CSS styles. And then this is another form of echo, which is also rarely used because instead of comma, you can just use dot, or you can just omit here. So ayan. So to display variables here, echo dot. So in order to echo variables, you have to put the variables outside of quotation marks. Although it can be put inside quotation marks, inside double quotation marks, but to be safe, you can put it outside. Okay? So the print statement can be used with or without parentheses. Here's an example, print. Okay? So, but usually we use echo. Says here that it has a marginally faster. And echo is marginally faster than print. So I think just use echo. So data types, we have string, integer, float. Float is it also contains double. And then we have boolean, array, object, null, and resource. Resource are your files usually. So a file is called a resource in PHP. And then string. So string can be enclosed using double quotation marks or single quotation marks. Take note that you can use double quotation marks if you enclose the string in a single quote. Okay, for example, what if gusto nyo maglagay ng apostrophe S here? Okay. If you are using single quotation marks, you can't do that by just using the single quotation mark. You have to escape the single quotation mark with backslash. But if you are using double quotation mark, you can directly use the single quote. Okay, and vice versa. If you need, for example, to enclose this with double quote, you cannot directly do that. But you can directly do that inside a single quotation mark. Okay? So, ito, kailangan mo ding mag-escape. Okay? Any question? So, integer, this is the range. I think this is 16 or 32 bit. integer, and then we have float for decimal values. Boolean is just true or false. Then array, object. So object in PHP are, of course, instances of classes. So in order to access the object properties, you have to use this operator, or the arrow operator. And then null value is special data type. Null is nothing. It's not an empty space. It's not a space. It's not zero. It's not false. It's null. Okay. And then resource for storing a reference to functions or resources external to PHP. So a common example is using a resource data type. It's a database call. So, ayan. And also files. Okay. So strings in PHP. Take note that PHP is originally a procedural language. So procedural language meaning it uses procedures. In order to do things, you need to call those procedures. Originally, PHP is that procedural language. But after the years, after I think PHP 5, they introduced OOP in PHP. So now you can use PHP as object-oriented or as procedural. Hindi naman inalis yung mga procedures, yung procedural nature ni PHP, but now you can use procedures or you can use OOP. Okay? So yan, yung mga functions dito ng strings, they are still procedures or functions. So, kung kailangan nyo ng isa, search nyo lang. strpost is to get the position of a text within a string. Reverse, word count, length, and substring, nandyan din. And then numbers, so numbers are automatically converted into the bigger value. But you also have functions for numbers. Okay, and then jump na lang tayo sa constants. And constants in PHP are defined using the define keyword. And then the first argument is, or the first parameter is the constant name, which is greeting, and the next is the value. So whenever you define a constant is case sensitive, unless you specify the third parameter to true to make it case insensitive. Okay, once you define a constant, it will be available throughout the document. You can also create constant arrays or ayan, globals. Okay, operators, we have arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, increment and decrement operators, logical operators, string operators, array operators, and conditional assignment operators. Almost all of these operators are similar. They are the same with operators from Java, JavaScript, and C Sharp, except for string concatenation. So yan, string operators, instead of plus, as string concatenator in Java, C Sharp, JavaScript, we use dot in PHP. And concatenation assignment is dot equals. Okay? So also you have the ternary operator. and the null coalescing. So, familiar naman na kayo sa difference ng double equal and triple equals as comparison operators? Yes or no? Dalawa lang pagpipilian. Hello? You answer yes, I will not discuss. You answer no, I will try to briefly discuss. Tao po. Okay, the default answer is yes. I will try to briefly discuss. Double equal is for comparing values only. Triple equal is for comparing values plus the type. If you have noticed, if you will notice here, x is equal to 100 and y is equal to 100, the first one is a number and the second one is a string. Using double equal as comparison operator will result in true. But using triple equals as comparison operator will result to false. Why? It's because the number 100 is not equal to the string 100, which compares both the value and the type. Okay? Number is not equal to a string. Okay, another example, the boolean true and the number 1. Using triple equals will result to false. They're not the same. Since true is a boolean, 1 is a number. But using double equals will return false because they both mean the same. 1 is also true, which is on. So they are basically in value, they are the same. But in value and type, they are not the same. Okay? Another example that you might be encountering a lot, especially with dealing to databases, is null. This empty string does not contain anything, therefore it's empty. And this is null. It's nothing. Not an empty string, not false, not zero. So comparing it with double equal is still true. But when you compare it with triple equals, it will be false. Okay? Take note of this because your database fields might default to null. Okay? And when you retrieve them, it's null. And it's not an empty string. Or it's not false. False is different from null also. But they might be the same in value. Okay? But not in type. And null can also be similar to zero in value but not in type. Okay? Ayan. Na ano ko lang dahil later on when you will be retrieving data from your databases, your fields might contain null. And if you treat zero and null differently, then you might have a problem. For example, you will be setting null as unlimited quantity and zero as zero quantity. That's two different cases. So using the triple equal operator will be necessary to make a comparison for those. Okay, and then we have the if else if statement. So similar din siya kay JavaScript, kay Java, kay C Sharp. This is the syntax for if. Pag meron tayong else and pag meron tayong else if. Although else if can be, yung else if natin pwedeng may space, pwedeng walang space. They will result to the same condition. Kasi dito, trinitreat niya yung buong statement na to as a single line statement. Okay? So, yan. That's your if else. And then switch, similar din ng syntax kay other programming languages, except that other programming languages may require you to specify cases from the smallest value to the largest value. In PHP, we don't have that. Just specify your cases in any order. And then loops. So, konti lang yung loops natin kay PHP. We have while, we have do while, we have for. So, familiar naman na kayo sa mga yan. And then we have for each. So, if you are not familiar with for each, it's a loop that loops through the block of code for each element in an array. It's for each element in an array. Okay? So, doon na lang tayo kay for each. So in PHP kasi, we have two different kinds of arrays. We have the numeric array with numbers as index, and we have the associative array which have values as index. Okay, this is an example of numeric array. Ayan, we did not specify any number or any keys. And this is an example of an associative array. We have array index. These are the index. Peter, Ben, and Joe. So this array, you can still loop through every element of the array using for loop. Okay? You can use for each, you can use for loop for this kind of array. Okay, but if you have an associative array, you cannot use the for loop anymore. You have no choice but to use the for each. Take note, the syntax is for each age as x is equal to val. This x here will contain the key. Okay? So it contains the key, and the val will contain the value, which is 35, 37, and 43. So of course, you also have the break and continue, and then functions. So PHP has over 1,000 built-in functions that can be called directly from within a script. And dahil procedural, si PHP before contains over 1,000 built-in functions. And then you can create user-defined functions using the function syntax, function keyword, just like JavaScript. And then arguments can be added with the $sign, of course, for variables. No need to specify the type of the parameter. So yan, PHP is a loosely typed language. But you can make it strict by using the strict declaration. So by using the strict declaration, you can now use type hinting para hindi magkamali ng value na ipapasa. And you can also set the return type or declare the return type by using this syntax. Okay? Colon and then the return type. Of course, that is if you want to be strict in your values. And then if you need to pass arguments by reference, you can use the ampersand. So passing by reference, if you modify the value of the parameter inside the function, the original value of the parameter will also be changed. Okay? So that's passing by our parameter, passing by reference and passing by value. By default, objects and arrays are passed by reference. So, ayan, tapusin na lang natin ngayon to para sa forms tayo next meeting. Okay, arrays. So, of course, you already know that array stores multiple values in one single variable. Okay? So, to create an array in PHP, we use the array function, although it's optional. So as of I think PHP 5.6, they introduced the shorthand array definition. So in PHP there are three types of arrays. We have index arrays, which has numeric index or numbers, associative arrays with named keys, and the third one, although can be considered as another type, or it can be considered as also the other two types, the multidimensional arrays. So take note that in PHP, it's every variable name or every array element is dynamic and can contain anything. So your array element can also contain another array, or it can also contain a multidimensional array. Okay? Get the length of an array by using the count function. So, okay, this is an example of an index array or numeric array. Okay, this is similar to, ibigyan ko lang kayo ng choices on how to define the array. Baka mas madali rin sa inyo to. Kasi for me, it's easier to define arrays using this square brackets. So no need to write the array, just square brackets. It's simpler form. Okay, and then associative arrays. So this array here can also be declared using, in PHP, you can just declare an array. You can just create an array by just specifying the index and then specifying the value. Although sometimes it's more complicated or harder to do this, unless it's a special case. So this array is also similar to this one. Instead of the array function, you can just use the square brackets. They're similar. Okay, and then, so yeah. In order to access the element of the array, you have to use its index or name index. So yeah, in order to loop through the associative array, you have no choice but to use the for each loop. And then multidimensional array, so you can create multidimensional arrays like this. Or you can also create multidimensional arrays. No, you can also create multi-dimensional arrays like this. So in simpler form, pwedeng ganito lang siya. Okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's up to you kung alin sa inyo yung mas madaling gawin. They are just similar arrays. For me, it's easier to do this one. But you can also create arrays, even multi-dimensional arrays like cars, Volvo. Okay. Pwede rin yung gumawa ng multi-dimensional arrays like this. Okay? Or if you don't want to specify the index, pwede rin ganyan. Basta be sure na before you use that, you have cars equals. Okay? And then and so on. Okay? As easy as that. Ang paggawa ng array kay PHP. And then sorting arrays, we have different sorting functions for arrays. Sort, reverse sort, associative array sort using the associative key. K sort to reverse A sort. AR sort to reverse or to sort the associative array in descending order. K or key sort in order to reverse or in order to sort in uh, descending order according to key. So eto, key, sort the associative array using the key. Okay? Okay, and then the super global variables, this variables, globals, server, request, post, get, files, environment, env, cookie, function. They are special variables that are reserved by PHP for its global variables. So you cannot just use them for variable names. They are reserved. Okay. So later we will discuss about these different variables. In form discussion, we will be using post, get, can also use request, and maybe files. And then session and cookie for user authentication. Maybe we can also look at server, how to identify the different information from our web server or from the user that is accessing the web page and so on. Okay. So I think that will be the end of our discussion today. Do you have any question? Gutom na kayo? Sino nagugutom?
Yes, sir.
Yes. May gusto ng free lunch. So, ayan. Okay, kung wala ng question, So I will now end the meeting. See you again next meeting. If you have other questions, different questions, you can just ask in our group chat. Okay? So have a nice weekend, everybody. Please continue. Okay. Okay, Mr. Ragamat, you're raising your hand. You want to ask something? Okay. So yeah, just continue practicing with PHP. Try to create your own pages to practice. So ulitin ko lang, you need to install SAMP. You need to start Apache and MySQL. And then you have to put your documents in C, SAMP, htdocs. Create your own folder. In order to run, use localhost slash the folder name slash the file name. Okay? Just type it in your web browser. So, may question pa? Yes, Mr. Ribad, you are raising your hand. Oh, you left the meeting. Okay, so yan. Have a nice weekend, everybody.